Daniel Brown, Spatial Capture Technician for Meidansha Incorporated located in Osaka, Japan, gives a shout-out to the We Get Around network.
Hello, my name is Daniel Brown, and I am the Representative Director of Meidansha Kabushiki Gaisha, which is a Japanese name for our company, which is Meidansha Incorporated, based in Osaka in Japan. Our company started shortly before incorporation as 2 or 3 members. We were scanning, amongst other things, B&B, or Minpaku as it's known here in Japan, in the Kyoto area. But soon the pandemic hit. So we branched out and managed to find a number of new kinds of clients. Amongst them, companies that had previously been running events, in-person events, but were looking for new ways to do them online. This threw at us a whole heap of new challenges. They required functionalities and things that were just not possible with Matterport as it stood at the time in 2020. So from there, we started searching online for solutions, any kind of solution we could possibly find, Matterport or otherwise, to meet our new clients' needs. We'd take a search, how to do, for instance, an index or a search bar inside a 3D virtual tour. And we came across this pattern where we found that we'd be linked to this forum, and it was the same forum every time. It was the We Get Around network. So after a time, we registered in the network, became a fan club member and then a standard member. And I can tell you, being a member of this network was probably the best business decision I ever made, from a creative research angle and also a marketing angle, since becoming a spatial capture technician. Basically, if I was to sum up the best things that we got from the We Get Around network, they would be like this. Number one, there is the creative research angle. We managed to find new ways to promote Matterport spaces using Matterport's SDK partners, all of which we found on the We Get Around network. For instance, our most used platform to date, MP Embed, has helped us to get clients in Japan, such as Suntory, the famous company that makes whiskey, and also Daikin, major air conditioning company, one of the biggest manufacturers of air conditioners in the world. These clients only chose to use our creative work because we were using MP Embed, which we had in turn found on the We Get Around network. Also, through the We Get Around network, we found out about Capture 3D. Capture 3D's work with Google's AR core and linking it with Matterport's digital twin technology is an amazing game changer. And this we would not have known about if we had not seen it on the We Get Around network. We have used this technology to display to many businesses and look forward to potential jobs with this in the future. Outside of Matterport, the creative angle that we earned by joining the We Get Around network was learning about 3D Vista, learning how to make DSLR 360 photos, learning how to do the same with drones and the potential for new work by using them. It was that particular item that caused me to want to get my drone license. And then from there, new work avenues have been created. If I was to sum up, the wealth of information that I have received about new ideas and new things in the We Get Around network has been so beneficial that when times have changed and a particular line of work dries up, the We Get Around network provides me with a new angle to sell that work again, or even a new line of work to sell. Just selling Matterport on its own is a really uphill task. But linked with things like drone photography, linked with things like SDK technology, linked with other things like 3D models, all merged together, the package you offer becomes not just that of a Matterport technician or a Matterport service partner, it becomes that of a 3D creator. You can learn these techniques and these technologies by staying with the We Get Around network and Dan Smigrod. The second angle I got from the We Get Around network was a much more directly profitable one. At first I thought joining a group which is predominantly North American was not going to bring me new work in Japan, but I was wrong. Soon after joining the network, I got contact from companies in the USA who wanted to scan hotels in Japan. I was ecstatic. It came at a time when our regular lines of business were drying up, just as the hotel industry in Japan was starting to come back again. The third and final angle is more of a camaraderie kind of thing. We live in a very fractured world with different industries and people who find it difficult to communicate with each other, especially being that we live so close but seem to be so far apart. But one thing I have noticed is that we all in different countries seem to share the same issues and we can talk about them on this network. Issues like what to do as photographers or 3D capture technicians and so on. This is a very new industry, and we are all coming across new and big hurdles that probably have never existed before in other industries. And at the same time, we have no one to talk about them with except each other. I find that this network has been a really great source of inspiration from looking at what other successful businessmen are doing, and also technicians, of course, and creators. At the same time, it has been a great source of support when I have had problems that I have needed to solve. I've found that there's a more than willing community who's willing to offer their input, their options, and their experiences in the past. And all of this has only been made possible because somebody put the infrastructure in place to make that happen. And that person was Dan Smigrod at the We Get Around Network.
Join the best prop tech community of professional Matterport and related digital twin creators and providers shaping the future of real estate today. We Get Around Network, helping you connect the dots to succeed faster. If you would like to do a shout-out video for the We Get Around Network, please visit wgan.info/shoutout.